By the way, Chumley, he bargains with people now. Chumley's like clean now, and all of a sudden he knows stuff about the French Revolution.
Wait a minute. Didn't he get in trouble having sex with like a 15-year-old or something like that?
He might have.
And he's back on Pawn Stars?
I don't think you can molest a kid and come back.
No.
I think we're as open-minded as we are as a society.
But we'll have an argument like, hey, what's a kid? That was a young man.
There are many topics and concepts we are all familiar with, but aren't necessarily sure how they work. Each week I present a guest with a surprise topic and ask them to try their best to explain it. This is Explaining Things.
Welcome back to another episode of Explaining Things. As always, I have a guest comic with me who's unprepared for the topic I'm about to give him. Today, my guest is Alan Fitzgerald.
Hello, everyone.
How would you open a pawn shop?
A pawn shop?
We've got Pawn Stars, we've got Hardcore Pawn.
Okay.
How did it all start?
All right, so you're back to the white trash questions for me.
That's right. Okay, you got a pawn shop owner look.
The first thing I'd want to do is get rid of all my empathy. So you got to watch some animal torture porn or something.
Just to break it down.
Just break it down, get all that empathy out of you.
That's
Whatever
right.
people eat in Russia, eat that.
Numb you to the world. You need a little money because you're starting a business. So
Yes.
you need money to at least rent a space.
Or you just have to have a lot of shit, too.
Do you think you start with the shit?
Go to a yard sale, yeah, bang. Yard sales are kind of like friendly pawn shops if you think about it.
Oh, they are.
Like, hey, how you doing?
Because it's the difference
How
between...
much can you afford?
I'd love it if someone did a yard sale and that's what like awakened their thirst for being a pawn shop owner.
Just sitting there like, yeah, no, it says $3, so that's what you pay for the mittens.
Like the bargaining back and forth, that has to be a fucking addiction. Just like,
Yeah.
I'll give you $50, but it's my great-grandmother's china set, and it was made in blah, 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 and it's a $10,000 value.
Who gives a shit?
I have a business to run.
This is the end of the line. If you think you can get more for it somewhere else, you'd be there.
Exactly. If you had options, you'd be using them.
Yes, and if it really meant that much to you, and you didn't need this to fucking eat or pay your rent, you wouldn't be here at all.
Also, that grandma story, bullshit. You also need the money to bid on the shit that people bring into you.
That'd be how a dummy start. Like, can you imagine how dumb? Like, all right, I got a bunch of stuff to pawn. I'm good. Oh shit, I gotta well, this is pretty nice. How am I gonna get this?
Can I trade my stuff?
What
for
about
your
my
stuff?
high school ukulele? Listen, this has a lot of sentimental value.
So you have a decision. Do you go like, I'm actually going to try to make this my life's work and collect some cool stuff? Or do you just slick your hair back and go full-blown scumbag?
I've seen both shows, and Hardcore Pawn, I'm pretty sure that show is designed to make minorities look like bad people.
Read between the lines when he bargains.
Can you get the smell of menthol cigarettes out of it? Sir, I don't smoke, I never have.
Exactly. Get a gold chain. You want to look like a hard ass because the last thing you want are people like drug addicts and criminals to come in with their shit and think they can take one over on you.
True, but the Confederate flag is a bit much. He's like, no, I'm just selling this.
The sentimental value.
Here's the thing. There's a slime ball, and then there's a more professional slime ball.
Well, it's the difference between like an insurance agent and like a banker. They're both slime. One has a more expensive suit. I think it's decided for you at a young age.
Yes.
How were you raised? How much were you beaten as a boy?
You have to be beaten just a little
There's
bit.
no pawn shop owner that's never been in a fight.
No. God.
They all have a sawed-off shotgun under the counter.
Yeah.
Bulletproof glass.
Yeah, they all have a Brooklyn accent, even if they're in fucking Santa Monica. This surfboard ain't worth fucking shit. You know, I went to pawn shop college.
I went to Pawn Shop U.
They teach us to talk like this.
What a great show that would be.
That'd be
I
incredible.
want that show. I want a budding pawn shop. Other pawn shops are sending guys over to fuck with you.
I think you just wrote a screenplay.
Coming this fall. Starring Alan Fitzgerald. How loosey-goosey are you going to be about checking for receipts and verifying that these were purchased? You know, because that's the big thing. That's how you get shut down. Do you get like a jewel expert? Because Rick Harris has all these friends. Let me call a friend. He'll come down here.
That guy has so many friends.
He's got so many friends. There are so many people that learn about the world from Pawn Stars.
The people on the show learn the hardest of lessons.
Oh my God. Here's a Super Bowl ring I bought for $20,000. And then Rick's just like, I'll give you one.
I'm doing you a favor.
I mean,
I don't give a shit if you were a linebacker.
sorry, Jerome Bettis.
I'm sorry Bernie Madoff fucked you, but guess what? I'm not letting you fuck me.
$1,000 will buy a lot of hungry mans. Okay, Jerome? Okay, boss? At the very least, you have to have like a jewel expert. I mean, I don't think that typical, like, inner city just is getting, like, a fucking samurai sword brought in.
No.
Inner city racist pawn shop. Just like, let me call a friend. He just calls the closest sushi restaurant. Hey, could you send one of your guys down here?
There's not a lot of doctors who go to pawn shops ever, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the deal is here. I've never done this.
But you can't say I've never done this before, because then you're going to get fucked.
They don't know, John. You see, people have nice lives. They've never heard of walk in a pawn shop before. They don't know how bad things can get.
Yeah.
So they walk in, they've had a nice childhood, they're trusting.
Yes.
It's like, this guy's here to help me. He runs a service.
Yeah.
Just like Jackie at the bank helps me. This is a service. This man's providing for me.
This is a lender. You need enough money to rent a place, but you need enough money so you can buy shit from people.
Again, empathy gone.
Yeah. Go to a couple yard sales, get some shit so your shelves aren't just empty on day one.
Loveless childhood.
Sawed-off shotgun.
Maybe they've seen the sawed-off shotgun, so maybe a switchblade in the collar here.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hidden weapons all over the
Hidden
place.
weapons everywhere.
No, these aren't brass knuckles. I just wear 4 rings all the time.
You need a safe, that's important, and then an expert. And then you die at like 62, which I think is like the average age of death for a pawn shop owner.
Oh, probably.
62? That's a nice long pawn shop life.
Stressed out. Bad diets.
Probably drugs, booze.
Single.
Yeah,
Single.
at least for a long part of it.
Titty bars.
Is there anything better than paying for titties with pawn shop money? It might be the dirtiest way to pay for a stripper. Pawn shop dollars. I sold my grandma's rings so that I can give you 72 ones, Bubbles.
It's a whole scumbag ecosystem.
Yeah, it's just revolving. How does a river keep getting water if the river only goes in one direction? It finds a way. I think that's it. Alan Fitzgerald.
All right, bang.
Until next time, guys.
Fuck City USA. Follow me on Twitter.